You know what's a really great way to inspire confidence in your brand new NFT game after the apocalyptic crash of the crypto market? Well, if you ask the CEO of Star Atlas, Michael Wagner, it's to punch down on anybody who offers any view counter to yours, and to abuse the copyright strike system on YouTube to silence inconvenient opinions, which is exactly what happened to a friend and fellow SC YouTuber, The Eradicator, last week. So, if you guys know me, I'm not one to cover drama on this channel, but when someone is attacked like this by someone who thinks that they will not suffer any repercussions, well, I just can't stand idly by. Mr. Wagner thought that he would get away with it because nobody would see how petty he was going after a little YouTuber. Well, got news for you, Mr. Wagner. People saw it, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But let me bring you guys up to speed. So recently, The Eradicator made a video that sought to highlight what he saw as some of Star Atlas's biggest issues. Or one big issue, rather. Star Atlas, if you don't know, is an upcoming Solana-based decentralized blockchain game that promises to be a grand strategy game of space exploration, territorial conquest, political domination, and more. They don't have a game yet, or even a proof of concept, but trust them. They're gonna make a game, and, well, at least for now, you can buy some really, really nice expensive JPEGs. I knew of a different project? Well, it's not exactly the same because these are NFTs. Or non-fungible tokens that are exchangeable for real-world currency. In other words, they're an investment. Look, I'm not here to defend or to support NFT games in any way. I mean, it's an interesting new way of funding projects, which is a separate topic from this video. Anyway, to quickly sum up the core of the message in his video, he argues that their method of communication is both seemingly unprofessional for a game of its funding and hard to understand, as a lot of the lingo they're using are really aimed towards the crypto bro market. And yeah, I watched some of their videos and they're not really up to snuff for what I would have expected for a game that has made supposedly millions of dollars. But he argues that if Star Atlas intends to gain the trust and following of gamers across the world, that they should look to create more approachable content to keep people apprised of the progress, and that would go a long way to inspiring more confidence and attract more funding from that large market segment. He goes further to note that this issue likely stems from the fact that the founding members generally have a lack of experience in the game industry, where all but one of the 4 founding members haven't had any previous experience working in a studio that's produced an actual game. And the one guy that did have experience worked as an artist. Nothing against artists, I'm sure there have been a lot of artists in the game development sphere that have become really successful studio heads. It's just not the kind of position that you would think could start a whole new studio from scratch. But anyway, he goes on that instead, all of these guys have experience in mostly investments and cryptocurrency, which is likely why their content is aimed towards the cryptocurrency investor kind of market. He contends that this has the unfortunate side effect of making it seem like their focus is on producing a speculative investment opportunity and not a game. And I can understand that perception. It does come off that way. Which might actually be the point because that's how they get investment, but still it's not a great look for your average gamer. So I agree here again with The Eradicator. This is unfortunate because if you want to appeal to that $1 trillion gaming market, you really need to appeal to the average gamer who won't have any crypto knowledge. So, while most of his language in the video was understandably skeptical of the project, I would probably feel the same way. I didn't see it as an overly negative video about Star Atlas. I didn't see it as trying to drag it down or even to say that it's an outright scam. Instead, how I saw it was just how I saw a lot of his other videos that talk about Star Citizen, as a potentially helpful way of criticizing the project by offering some constructive criticism. Well, it seems Mr. Wagner didn't agree. Not one bit. And that's why he smacked down the video abusing the terrible YouTube copyright system and then proceeded to spew comebacks like a petulant little child on Twitter in response to The Eradicator's video. Check out some of these little gems, like, "Don't waste your time, his content is laughable. Zero research. We will look into your content as specifically what not to do." Wow, this definitely sounds like high-level CEO talk. Dude, you should teach a class on how to act like a CEO. So anyway, here's my take on this. Mr. Wagner, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are, you're not helping your cause. In fact, your actions paint you as a liability to your investors, at least if you keep acting this way. I was one of those individuals that was skeptical of your project to begin with, but I was willing to sit on the sidelines and quietly hope to see some promising progress, at which point I would probably have made a purchase and even made a video on Star Atlas. But I've been skeptical as a whole about the NFT game thing, because in my mind, playing to earn just kind of seems like turning your hobby into a job, like virtual work, and I'm just not sure that's going to be fun, but I'm willing to keep an open mind. Now though, I think you've kind of pushed me a bit off the fence, but not in the direction I think you or your investors would probably have hoped for. But, maybe I'm no loss, fine. But I'd be willing to bet that there are a few in the comment section below that will also feel this way in light of this new knowledge. I also know that you don't like the Eradicator accused you of not having any game development experience. I don't really get what the big deal is about this. The most profitable game studios in the world don't have developers at their head. They're all money men, businessmen, and they hire the right people to fill the positions that they need to get the job done, and that's a fine way to do it. I personally don't love the focus on money over game quality that can sometimes come from this, but that's not always exclusively true. I mean, just look at Jedi Fallen Order. EA made that, and it's a terrific game. So maybe you're just new to being visible to the public. So let me tell you that from my personal experience, that if a little YouTuber with just over 1.5k subs really bothers you, you need to get thicker skin, because it's gonna get a hell of a lot worse. Like, way worse. Now, these repeated immature actions like your tweets will add up. After the crypto crash, you're going to find that it's a lot more challenging to inspire more investors to come to the project. A little slip here, a little faux pas there won't individually make much difference, but trust me, it adds up. I would figure that you'd be doing anything you could to avoid making mistakes and getting negative publicity, because you need to inspire confidence in your product, right? Isn't it a speculative investment? And isn't that completely dependent on the way your project is perceived? I mean, it really is an uphill battle. I don't know if you've seen the video from Legal Eagle where he talks about how NFTs are legally problematic. He's a licensed and practicing lawyer, by the way. I highly encourage you to check it out. It's a relatively new sphere of investment with little to no protections for investors, and therefore it's rife with pump and dump schemes, rug pulls, and straight up scams. A lot of people have been burned, and they're assuming they're gonna get burned again by going into a project like Star Atlas, regardless of whether or not your intentions are good. So again, I would think that anything you can do to be a responsible chief executive officer would include ensuring that people trust and respect you, that you know how to get things done, and that you're a mature human being. And I've looked at your profile. You seem like a successful businessman, and one that I assume of no small intelligence. So I assume that you can see this, and I hope you can take the L from this and just learn from this mistake. Punching down and abusing YouTube are not great looks. They're not great examples of how to behave well on this new internet age where this stuff gets passed around and everybody finds out. I've never seen his CEO go low and see benefits from it, unless you're Bobby Kotick. That guy's a monster. Anyway, I don't think this video needs to be much longer than this, so it's already long enough. But I'll leave you guys with this, and this is for you general viewers out there. Beware of NFT games, especially if you don't understand what non-fungible tokens are or what a blockchain is. Do your research before you buy, and never invest more than what you're willing to lose, and understand that anyone who is financially invested in something like an NFT game and is talking to you about the project has a strong incentive to gloss over the problems, as any negativity can cut into their portfolio. As in, they're gonna lose money if there's any negative perception of the game. So there will be swindlers out there looking to get you to put your money into something so that they can sell their holdings and run away with your money. You gotta look out for that. But I'm not saying that this is what Star Atlas is doing. What I am saying though is that Mr. Wagner's actions, silencing criticism, sure as hell ain't helping convince me it's not. Hey guys, I've been Morphologist. If you like this video, you know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Help get the word around, because this kind of behavior should not be tolerated. See you guys in the next one.